Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to No Sweat. This is episode 21, the Twizza Super School Series edition, and we have handsome guests in studio today. On my right, we have the world-renowned athlete and now a national and world-renowned coach, Mr. Paul Gorries. Yeah. Paul, how are you doing?
Good, thanks, Alyssa. Thanks for having me again.
It's only a pleasure to always have you here in the studio. For those of you who don't know Paul, he is an exceptional athlete, Africa Junior Champs gold medalist, Commonwealth Champs silver medalist, Africa Champs silver medalist, World Junior Champs gold medalist. Bringing back memories there?
Way back. Too long for me to remember. Way too long.
But also in the studio today, we have one of your Tux Sport athletes. To my left-hand side, Bradley Nkoana. How are you doing, Bradley?
I'm doing great, man. How are you?
I'm always well, thanks. I'm really, really good. For those of you who don't know Bradley, he is a young, aspiring athlete, and he's going to be following in Coach Paul Gorries' footsteps. He's already nearly overtaken him on the personal best over there. He's 17 years old, and as a sub-youth athlete, he won the 100 meters. Also holds the record in the 100 meters under 15 in a time of 10.63 seconds. That's pretty fast. 200 in a time of 21.4 seconds. And he holds a top 10 record for the 200 meters in 21.31 seconds. Paul, his PBs are 22.1 in the 200 meters and 10.54 in the 100 meters. Phenomenal athlete that you have over here.
Look, Bradley's been, one of the rich history athletes of Tux athletics. I think the school has been fortunate. They've got a rich history of athletes. I mean, he's one of the athletes that's been coming through the system. And he's a phenomenal talent, and I think this is the start of bigger and better things for him to come.
Definitely, and we want to get to know all about Bradley Nkoana today. But before we do that, guys, this is the Twizza Super School Series edition. Tomorrow, Ramsig, 19th of February, we'll have schools all over from South Africa coming to compete to find out who is the fastest school in South Africa and to get bragging rights for a year. Bradley, how do you think Tux is going to do at this event?
I feel like Tux is going to dominate the competition.
100%, you're going there to win.
100.
We do know that Menlo Park holds, the trophy. They're the reigning champions. They've had the bragging rights, for the year. I've spoken to people from Waterkloof. I've spoken to people from Prestige College, and they all say, they're gunning for this trophy. Everybody's in it to win it. Paul, as the coach of Tux Sport, how do you think you guys are going to do?
Look, I think we for the size school that we are, I think in terms of the sprints, we'll dominate there. Menlo and some of these other schools are bigger, so in terms of the other events, they will dominate there. But definitely in terms of sprints, I don't think they can even compare themselves to us, my opinion. So in terms of the sprints, we'll be up there. Our main focus here at Tux Sport School is solely on sprints and also the middle distance. So we don't really recruit, athletes in terms of, the field events and some of the jump events. We the last year or so got a couple of hurdlers in.
Yeah.
So, and in the areas that we focus on, we'll be strong. And I think that's where we will fall short in terms of the field events. But in terms of sprints and middle distance, we should be up there.
That's amazing. I love the confidence. In terms of sprints, Tux is going to be dominating tomorrow at the Ramsig Stadium. Just a reminder, guys, it is the Twizza Super School Series final tomorrow, Ramsig Stadium, 19th of February. And the event kicks off from 9 o'clock in the morning and will be going all the way until 7 p.m. in the evening. Long day filled with jam-packed athletics. There's also going to be a lot of entertainment, a lot of different sponsors there, activation areas, and Backtrack will obviously be covering the footage live, so don't miss it out. Paul, Tux School is a major platform for sprinters and athletes like Bradley. How important is it to give these guys that platform, to help them for the rest of their career?
Look, I mean, if I look at the history of the sport and what's been happening, they've, with last year with, Benjamin winning a silver medal, before we had athletes, winning medals at the world stage. So, in terms of that, a lot of people are attracted to the brand on this side. Look, I mean, the foundation is there. Before I came around, I mean, they've been doing well. We've been doing well last year as well, and my goal to be here is to go one step better all the time. That's why I'm here. So in terms of athletes, we definitely have the talent. And it's just to lay the foundation and lay a proper foundation so that a lot of those athletes transition to senior level. Because if you look at the history of the school, there's only literally 2 athletes that has made that transition to senior level, which is Clarence and Gift. So, you know, part and parcel of me being here is to change that, you know, with the amount of talent that we do have here. I definitely think we should have more athletes progressing onto senior level.
Definitely, I agree. And, you know, with the likes of Bradley being part of the school and his amazing accolades already, his times speak volumes. You know, he's a youngster. He's 17 years old. Even when I was sitting here earlier and he's telling me his PBs, I'm like, jeez, he's fast. This guy's got gas. You know, he's faster than some seniors I know. Not going to mention any names. But Bradley, how did you get into the Tux Sport High School?
I was running inter-provincials back in primary in grade 7, and Coach Tavo, he approached me, and then they said that I should come for trials to come school in Tux. And it didn't go well the first time because I got injured. Yeah. And then I had to come back again, and then they saw that, okay, there's potential. And academically, I was doing great, and they accepted me.
And was that like an amazing moment for you? Was it like, it's definitely it, I have to go to the Tux Sport High School? As Paul's mentioned, we've seen Gift and Clarence come through the ranks. And was that appealing to you?
Yeah, it changed my life completely. I saw athletics in a different way. I started falling in love with the sport more than soccer. But yeah, I felt welcome when I got here, and I really had my hopes up, and I still do.
That's amazing. It's all about the Twizza Super School Series final today. Are you ready for tomorrow, Bradley?
I'm always ready.
You're always ready.
Always.
Are you ready for tomorrow, Coach?
Nah, I'm good. I've been in this game long enough to be ready, so I think I'm good.
That's amazing. Bradley, what events will you be participating in tomorrow?
I'll be running the 100 meters and the 200 meters.
Okay, perfect. We're going to be there to watch you, to see what you can do. You guys have laid the foundation. You said Tux Sport sprinting is on fire, so we want to see the fires tomorrow at the track. We know the Ramakokobo Stadium has been fast, so we're hoping for fast times. Coach Paul, Twizza Super School Series, you know, is a great platform, especially at this early in the year. You know, it's a long season, long series. We're all preparing for national championships. How do you use this race and this platform to see where your athletes are at and to prepare for later on in season?
Look, I mean, you know, obviously at the school you get different type of athletes, and you know, everyone's at a different level. We know who the good ones is, and or better ones. Won't say good because everyone's good. Yeah. The better ones at this point in time is in terms of progression, not necessarily in terms of talent. So yeah, this is just a stepping stone, you know, for some of the athletes, and all in preparation for SA Junior Championships, which would be key. I think last year, including the relays from the school side alone, I think we got from the sprint 17 medals. Sure. Yeah, and that's if you count each and every relay medal individual. And if you look at the size of the, you know, what we have here, so this is a good initiative. It's good for school sports. It's good in terms of development and in identifying talent, and you know, getting that talent to step up. So tomorrow for us is, you know, it's just a stepping stone for some to nationals, and it's also, you know, the foundation for others to lay their mark, and you say, you know what, I'm here. Look at me too. You know. So look, I mean, I like the initiative. It's a little bit different from when we were at school and when we did schools athletics in terms of sponsorship and everything. So yeah, this is a stage for a lot of athletes, you know, to get noticed, you know, and hopefully move on from there to bigger things.
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, for new athletes to come through the ranks and say, I'm here, guys. I'm ready to join, you know, the track and field group, and I'm ready to show you the talent that I have and showcase the talent I have. Bradley, what do you enjoy about the Twizza Super School Series? We know it's a long day of athletics, but you know, you get engaged with other athletes from various schools all over the country. Some people call it a mini national champs. Because you get to see what the other guys are doing, you know, how their training is going and where they're at in their preparation for national champs. What do you enjoy about Twizza Super School?
I enjoyed like the support and how people are always there, even if you're down, even if you're losing, they'll still support you like you're winning. Yeah, and it brings together the schools of South Africa as one unit to show that we can do this. I mean, Backtrack has brought so much to South Africa, and it clearly shows that we're moving forward and not backwards.
I love it. We're moving forward and not backwards. The guy, the man, the young 17-year-old spitting some words over here. But Bradley, we want to remind everybody who is watching and who's going to watch this podcast of how fast you are. I mean, I'm still stunned by your times. It's really good times. So we're going to watch a 200-meter race of Bradley when he was under 16. Just to remind you guys what a young talent this guy is.
What's happening in this ride? That's the boys under 16. Line number 5, running accurate right. Bradley, Nkoana. Line number 5, second place, Prestige College. 21.91.
200 meters. Bradley, what is your favorite event?
200 meters,
Why the 200?
because it's long and I feel like I can catch up, and it gives me time to think and relax. And yeah,
Paul, what is your favorite event?
Yeah. No, definitely the 200.
Definitely
I mean,
the 200.
If I look at over the years, 400 was enjoyable, but I definitely think 200 is my favorite event. Lately, I mean, since I started coaching, I like the 100. I
Okay.
like the technicalities around it, the challenge around it. So, it's definitely a little bit more complex than the 200. But 200 personally, for me, favorite event. But in terms of coaching and getting that extra edge out of you, I'd say the 100.
I think we're all in agreement when we say the 200 is the better race, and there should be more interest in the 200. Bradley, tell me, what made you start track and field? We want to know everything about you, where you're from, why you decided to go into athletics and not soccer, or just what is the inspiration behind that?
it was the day I lost my mother. I realized that I have this talent that God gave me, and I should put it to good use. And I thought to myself that the one chance that I'm going to get in athletics, I'll use it wisely. And God gave me that chance, that opportunity, and I was like, okay, firstly, let me collect myself and know myself and feel like, okay, this is what I want, this is what I want to achieve in athletics, and this is what I'm hoping to become, so that I can bring back to the people of South Africa. Yeah, I feel like that made me fall in love with athletics, especially in the sprinting side.
He's a deep young boy.
Very deep young boy. I'm sitting here thinking, this youngster is only 17 years old, Does Mr. Gorries have something to do with this mental maturity and, wanting to give back to the youngsters and keep the talent within South Africa? I like that. A lot of people, a lot of athletes decide they're already in grade 10, they're like, no, I'm just shooting for the USA, I'm shooting for Europe and all of that. And there we have Bradley, wanting to remain here and give back to SA. That's very important, Paul.
No, it is. Look, it's important for me. Part of me coaching is just not coaching the athletes, coaching the person as well. So, it's important for them to understand what they're doing at all times, and also know the responsibilities that comes with it, and also the sacrifices, And, everyone always look at the end product, but they don't know, the amount of work and energy and, the long hours of talks at any, I mean, these guys know they can contact me at any time, doesn't matter where I am, whether I'm in Europe, whether I'm here, I'm always available for them. So it's important for them to understand the sport, understand the history of the sport, and also for them to understand where they're going. This is not going to be a overnight success thing. They need to be patient. If you take Bradley, who was injured last year, majority of the year, unfortunately, I was not here, I was abroad, and he got injured in that time. He didn't have a season last year, so on the mental side we had to work a lot harder than on the physical side. We know what the physical attributes is. So, and that's where he is. And first race of the season, he opened up with a 100-meter PB. So.
Wow. Just like that.
Yeah.
Bradley, you did mention earlier that, the relationship between a coach and an athlete is so important, and you referred to Mr. Gorries as a father figure.
Yes, man.
How has he helped you through those challenging times, such as injuries, and I mean, you're a youngster. You don't expect to go through such harsh injuries at such a young age. And how has Paul helped you get through that, especially last year?
When I felt like the world turned their back on me, he was there to support me. He reassured me that you can still come back. I mean, a lot of athletes that get injured, they just feel like, okay, it's over. I can't come back. Even if I come back, I won't be fast. Coach never gave up on me. He always checked up on me, kept me motivated, always made sure that I had training, I attend my physio's appointment and all that. And it actually made me feel like special, to actually get so much attention from a coach, especially for an athlete like me, Bradley. I mean, I come from a township.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never had that. So when coach gave me that, I felt really special, and I promised to myself that I won't disappoint. I'll never disappoint.
I love that, Coach Paul. I think that you don't find many coach-athlete relationships like that, especially in the South Africa track and field space. And it's so important that you're not only the coach when it comes to training, but you're a coach, a holistic coach. Checking in on the rehab, checking in on the physiotherapy, checking in on all those things. I'd like other coaches to be watching this and learning from that. I think that's the only way we develop and groom athletes to become Olympic gold medalists, right?
Of course. Look, I mean, it's important. I mean, I was fortunate enough to have that, with my coach, and if it was not for that, I don't think I would, probably achieve what I did. I mean, even though I still feel a little bit underachieved at senior level, but that's due to my own reasons. But it's key, a lot of, I've said it many times before, a lot of coaches get excited about the talent, and then they forget everything else in that whole process, and not knowing, look, he's still a 17-year-old boy, he should be treated like that. His training load and everything should be for a 17-year-old, not for a senior athlete. So those things are key to me. I think of, and you've been an athlete yourself, and I think you can relate to it in terms of, if some of our coaches back then just understood a little bit more where these things are concerned, you probably would have had that extra 5, 10 or 20%, which sometimes is the difference between making a final and medaling.
Yeah.
And especially the small margins in our sports is the ones that counts. So for me, it's key, and it's also key to keep them grounded, not to get ahead of themselves. Doesn't mean because you started fast, the season that's, how it's going to go. You still need to remain hungry. You still need to have more from yourself. So yeah, I keep them in check. All of them, they know.
I like it. And Bradley, are you hungry? Are you hungry?
I'm hungry.
Do you still want more from yourself? We're not talking about food hungry, Bradley. It's still early.
But I'm always hungry.
You're always hungry. What are your aspirations? What are your dreams? What are your goals in athletics?
I want to become one of the best athletes in South Africa. Hopefully to make a change. To, like I said, to bring back, and hopefully so that the young athletes upcoming should look up to me the way we look up to our current senior athletes, and they should know that there's always a way, whether it's work or fun, there's always a way.
And who do you look up to? Who are those current athletes that inspire you?
I look up to Akani Simbeni.
Nice. You think you can beat him?
I'd give him a tough time.
It's okay, Bradley. You can say yes. You can say it. You're 17 years old. Akani Simbeni is probably close to nearly 10 years older than you, maybe 8 years older than you. So, I like that you're going to give him a tough time. I like that but I also like that you look up to him and you find inspiration from him. A lot of the time, athletes don't want to draw inspiration from those around them. And I think that is also what they need to learn. Like, it's not that you are scared of them or you're fearing them, but you just appreciate their hard work. You appreciate their graft and you appreciate what they are achieving on track. But other than that, like, you want to be an Olympian, you want to bring back the gold medal. We need it in South Africa. We don't have that sprint medal yet. Are you going to be that guy?
I want to be that.
Paul, is he going to be that guy?
Yeah, time will tell. Time. Look, he's definitely got the talent. He's definitely on the right track. You know, it's how you retain that and how you groom that, and you also need to, you know, exercise and practice patience in that time period. So I mean, look, I mean, we definitely, you know, besides Bradley, we have a lot of athletes. Now he's a special one. He knows it. You know, I don't like to tell him too much. So, like I say, they need to remain grounded. But I mean, we definitely do have the talent, you know, somehow in the near future that, you know, can bring back, you know, those medals, with the exception of Wade. I mean, Wade showed the promise at the young age, and he made that transition, you know, unlike a lot of the others. And I mean, he's world record holder, Olympic champ, 2-time world champ, you know. I mean, that's no easy feat. So, I mean, they have the guys that they can look up to.
Yeah.
You know, Kanye's been in 2 Olympic finals, and he's been in world championship finals, you know. I mean, unfortunately, you know, at some of them he just came up short. You know, I'm sure it will go better for him as well going forward. But, I mean, they have role models that they can look up to and draw inspiration from. But I always say, you're not a Kanye, you're not a Wade, you Bradley. You focus on Bradley and what Bradley wants to do. That's the most important thing.
I love that. You are Bradley, right? Bradley, what are you doing to prepare for tomorrow's Super School Series final event? You're running the 100 and the 200 meter at Twizza. You know, is there any specific preparation that yourself and Coach Paul Gorries did? You know, is there anything, rituals that you follow? Tomorrow, are you going to wake up and eat, I don't know, magunya or something? I don't know. What is your vibe? What do you do?
Well, that's something to keep under the carpet.
It's all about the secrets here.
Nah, there's no secrets, man. There's no easy way to success. You know, you got to work hard, keep your head down, and keep grinding. That's it, you know. I mean, some make it and some don't make, but that's the way the game goes, you know.
100%.
At the end of the day, you know, the hungry ones or the more hungry ones is the one that succeed and, you know, and then get those medals. You know, I mean, that's something, either you have that instinct or you don't. And that's something I'm going to give to you. You need to have that, like you call that, you know, that killer instinct, you know. If you go out there, you're not scared. I mean, we've seen it with the likes of Usain and these guys, you know, from junior level all the way up. You know, they have that instinct. They just have that special edge, you know, and that's something that's within deep inside of you.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
So I can only give you the tools to make you better. As what you do with that tools, that's entirely up to you.
100%. You can take the horse to the that thing
to the river. I can't make him drink it.
Exactly.
I can't make him
There we
drink
go.
it, you know.
There we
So yeah. Look, I mean, at the end of the day, like I say, but it's a process, and they're young. You know, so you just give him a little bit of a taster and then you take him back again.
Nice. I like that. I like that. Controlling the situation.
Have to,
you know,
have
you
to,
have to
have to.
control and keep them humble. Bradley, a little birdie told me that your nickname is Shadow. Can you please explain that to me?
Well, back in grade 8, there was 3 of us, me and my friends. We were like a trio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 Musketeers.
We're really naughty in class, and then like they just decided, okay, since we like that, let's just call each other by codes. And they're like, you know, nicknames. You Shadow, and the other one Elijah, the other one Nyope.
Okay.
Yeah, and yeah, it really stuck to me.
I'm sure there's more to the
I'm
story.
sure there's more to that story.
I'm sure there's more to the story.
Yeah, it stuck to me, and then I was like, oh, I'm Shadow. I'm dark. Well, it suits me, but I feel like Dark Lightning would be much better.
Dark Lightning. So I've heard that Dark Lightning is the track name, Coach. I heard that when Bradley hits the track, then just lightning strikes, and
It's the first I heard of
First
Dark
of it.
Lightning.
Okay.
I guess we can start a trend with that.
we can start a trend with it. I mean, the hair and everything, you know, it matches.
You
And
just gotta have to live up to that name. That's it, you know. You've
And-
gotta handle that pressure that comes with it.
exactly, and tomorrow's the perfect platform. Twizza Super School Series Final. Dark Lightning will be running the 100 meters and the 200 meters. I like the ring to that, I'm not going to lie. So we're going to be looking forward to seeing you out on the track. We have a bunch of schools coming to compete. We know that Menlo Park is the reigning champs, but Waterkloof is coming strong. Hoërskool Randburg is coming strong. Tux Sport is coming strong. Paul Gymnasium is coming strong. You know, we have a whole list of schools. Prestige College is coming strong. The guys are ready. The guys are hungry. They won a race. They're ready to take that trophy away from Menlo Park. And I think it's going to be a good one, right?
Definitely. Like I said, I mean, yeah. Look, they can go on the field and the field events and all the other things. We'll see them in the sprints. We're cool there. No, that's our thing.
You heard it from the coach himself.
Yeah, we don't care about the throws and those sort of things. We'll see them in the sprints. That's our thing.
Well, you guys have heard it from the coach himself at Tux Sport. You guys will see him in the sprints, and you'll see his athletes over there in the sprints. Bradley Nkoana being one of them. But now we have a little bit of a challenge over here. We're going to go athlete against coach, coach against athlete. Bradley, I hope you know your athletics, because Mr. Paul Gorries has been in the game for a very long time. You know, he's got experience. He's, on his side, I was going to say age, but I won't do that. He's got experience on his side. He's got wisdom on his side. So how this game works, I give you guys 30 seconds, right, to name as many athletes as possible. National, international, local, Olympians, world champions, you name it, anything.
Just
Athletes. Like,
any athlete.
example, Paul Gorries,
Yeah.
right?
Got
There we
you,
go.
got you.
30 seconds. Who's going first? Coach, lead
can
by
go.
example.
No, you
Let
can
him
go.
steal a few names there.
He can go.
Okay, Bradley. There we go, guys. That's the clock. 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Paul Gorries, Akani Simbene Gift, Clarence, Precious Viewer Tepo, Armand,
Let's go. Halfway.
Prudence,
10 seconds. 10 seconds.
Usain Bolt, Noah Lyles, Christian Coleman, Baker.
4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up.
How much did
My
he get?
man, jeez, like
You got
that was 14. 14 athletes in the mix. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Most of them were his school
So
friends, but anyway, 14 athletes in the mix there.
Okay. I don't know half of them, but it's fine.
Yeah, same there. I'm like, okay, fine. We'll give it to you. 14 athletes there for you, Bradley. Coach, pressure on you. 14. I'm sure you can double that. Ready?
I'm
3,
sure.
2, 1. Let's go.
Elaine Thompson, Shelley Fraser Price, Carl Lewis, Asafa Powell, Maurice Green, Atto Balden, Brianna Williams, Daley Thompson, Enrico Brankis, Bradley, Nkoana, Viwe, let me go. Who's this still? Oh,
10 seconds
Myrtle Botma, Llewellyn Herbert, Jacques Freitag.
5 seconds left.
Ooh, jeez.
3,
Heide Seiling, Matthew
2,
Cohen.
16. Coach, come on. It's the pressure, no?
No, it's not. I didn't want to beat him by that far, so I took it easy on him. Two names is,
Two names is good
I
enough.
could have carried on.
Yeah,
I
you know.
could have.
You have a lot of
I
names.
could have gone deep, Saligano, all of these former athletes, I could have, but I thought, let me stop there. Mike
Yeah.
Powell, those guys,
Yeah.
so I'll stop there.
Doc Lightning has to still have his confidence
Yeah.
for tomorrow, so we
For
don't want to bruise it too much.
exactly.
But anyway, good job, Coach. Beat the athlete. It's fine. You're coming back stronger next time, right?
I will.
Come back stronger tomorrow. Right, guys. Before we close off, thank you so much for making time to speak to us, both Coach Paul Gorries, amazing words of wisdom there, always sharing your experience with us, always encouraging in the conversations that we have. And it's so good to see the relationship that you build with your athletes. I love it, and I love seeing, how you motivate them and how you keep them going. And we can't wait to see what the PG group is going to do this year. It's a good 2022 season. It's a long season, but I think it's a good one. And like you said, the athletes are going to come out and, stamp their mark. I'm here. PG group is here and we're ready. But before we say goodbye, I just want you to share a few words of wisdom, especially for tomorrow's final at the Twizza Super School Series. A lot of kids are coming out. A lot of them see it as their national champs already. So just give them some inspiration and motivation.
Look, for tomorrow, I think it's a good platform for most athletes, to start. A lot of them can literally start their school career and from there onwards. You're young, you enjoy, don't put pressure on yourself, stay within the moment, and the world's your oyster.
100%. And lastly, just some words for the coaches, just to keep them inspired and for them to learn from you. How to
Look, there's a lot of coaches that it's older than me that's been long in the game. I think in terms of balance, I want some little bit more rounded. But I mean, I've been on both sides of the fence. So look, I mean, I must say, in terms of where we are in athletics now, a lot of coaches have done some exceptional work, you know, to get us to this point. I think the current group of athletes and talent that we have is amazing.
Yeah.
You know, and they just need to do what they do, and for us to retain their talent and to make sure that, you know, the Bradleys of this world, the Viways, you know, all the young talent makes it to senior level, because otherwise, what's the point?
Yeah.
Then there's no point, you know. I mean, if we're only going to have junior athletes and they don't make that transition phase to senior, then we're actually not doing anything right, including myself.
There you go. You heard it from Coach Paul. Have fun tomorrow. Do your best. And coaches, protect your athletes. Groom them well. Bradley, it's your time to shine. Dark Lightning, it's your time to shine. Shadow, it's your time to shine.
Too many names.
Give Tux Sport especially, you know, the guys competing tomorrow. Give them some words of inspiration, some words of encouragement. You guys are chasing that first place. You're chasing that trophy, especially in the sprints and middle distance, we know. Just share some inspiration for them.
Just stay focused. Keep in mind that it's all about heart. Do it for your loved ones and don't ever disappoint. Stay in your own lane and don't false start.
Don't run in your competitor's lane and don't false start. Guys, that is Coach Paul Gorries and Bradley Nkoana from High School Tux Sport. So good having you guys here. Remember, guys, tomorrow is the Twizza Super School Series final at Ramakokobo Stadium. The action kicks off at 9 a.m. and it goes all the way until 7 p.m. This is your girl, Alyssa Conley, and we'll see you soon.